This chair's so comfortable I could just fall asleep on it.
Dude, I love these things.
Hey everybody, Ron from BPMF, and I'm coming to you from the Sophos Survival Campground in Spanish Fork, Utah. And I am joined by the one, the only, the creator and CEO of Sophos Survival, Isaiah Price.
Hello.
So we wanted to take a minute today and talk to you guys about first aid kits and IFAKs, which is an individual first aid kit. Generally, an IFAK is more of a stop the bleed type first aid kit. It doesn't have to be, but that's a little bit more of what it is. This is the first aid kit, the IFAK that I have. Well, this is a little different, but this is the same as what I have. So I have this one on my training belt for when I am doing courses, in case somebody's to accidentally catch a round out at a course or get injured, severely injured in one way or the other. I have mine adjusted a little different. This part right here is Velcroed on, so you can easily pull this off your belt. So if you keep it on your back like I do, you just pull this off, and then I can have this kit in front of me. So if it's in my back, I just rip it off, and I've got it right in front of me, and I've got my whole kit right there. They're cool kits because you can take out what's in it if you don't like what's in it. If there's a tourniquet you don't like, or there's a whatever, you can buy these empty kits and you can load them up with whatever you want to. So it's been a good kit for me so far. Yeah. What do you think?
That's the cool thing about these. They're kind of modular. You can move that tourniquet wherever you want it. Like Ron said, if you don't like the one that's in it, take it out. Put the one you like, the one you've trained with, and trust. And anyway, you can configure that in several different ways. But you can always add to these things too. Say you have this kit, and it, like this one specifically, is built for the range, and it's made for major, gunshot and puncture wounds. If you wanted to add, so for that reason, it doesn't have many like basic band-aids and stuff like that, but you can always add them. If you wanted something a little smaller than that, if you want something bigger, we can build all that stuff custom here. We have all the supplies, or if you want a pre-built kit like this, you can do that and just add to it. But yeah, that's the Range Medic by a company called My Medic. They're here in Utah. Awesome company.
So on the back here, it's got the straps to be able to run through your MOLLE. So you can run it through MOLLE. You could throw it up on your LBV or your plate carrier, depending on what you're rocking. Or, like I said, I've got mine wrapped through my belt, and I carry this on my belt. There's a bunch of different MOLLE attachment points where you could add more things, or you could attach it a little differently if you want to. So it just gives you a lot of different options.
One thing I like to do with mine, the Range kit, is I have a pair of shears on the outside there. That way they're immediately accessible. There's another, you can stuff it inside if you want, but then you got to tear it open to get there. If you want to have that, tourniquet and your shears right on the outside works well for me, but you can figure out how you need it.
Did you have some other kits you wanted to talk about here?
Yeah. Okay, so these are ones we put together. This is we call this the VFAK, the Vehicle First Aid Kit, and it comes in this waterproof, dustproof, impact-resistant hard case. Really nice to be able to throw underneath the seat in your truck, or under the seat in your side-by-side. You can even rig it up and strap it to the roll cage on your side-by-side. But basically, there's your list of all your stuff. And I'm really OCD, and so I organized this the way that I would want it for my own kit. Inside here, that's your gauze pack. So you've got some quick clot gauze, and then you've got a whole bunch of other pieces of gauze in that one. You've got your tourniquet, and again, like we have the soft T tourniquet in here right now, but if you're used to the Cat T or the whatever, the Sam XT, maybe you want a Rat's tourniquet, you can do whatever you want. Pack of Band-Aids, there's your gloves, and then each one of these little packs you've got, those are your ointments, okay? And by the way, with these kits that we designed here at Sophos Survival, there's a lot of first aid kits out there that have a lot of the junk that you don't need, and the things that you'll never touch. or that you don't know how to use, and not enough of the things that you use on a day-to-day basis. And so we wanted to kind of take that, flip-flop it, make sure you have extra of the things that you need all the time, so that you don't just use it once and then you're out and you got to go back and, you know, you got to go to the store and buy a pack of Band-Aids.
So this is cool, you know, all of your little ointments and your pain relievers and some different things like that, some sunscreen, you know, for all of us, you know, on the range and cool guys, and we want to treat gunshot wounds and all that crap, whatever. But if you're in your side by side and your kid gets a little splinter, or you know, get stung by a bee and they're allergic, you know, having little things like being able to pull out a splinter, give them some chewable allergy reliever or something, Benadryl to bring down swelling if they're allergic. Just some minor little pain reliever things are huge when we're talking about our little kids versus us tough guys, whatever. I got a splinter, yeah, I lost my arm, who cares? You know, versus little kids, you know, especially if you have a wife with you and little kids crying and all of that, giving that kid some pain relief and some comfort can be huge. And that's kind of the cool stuff with the forethought of some of these little ointments and little treatment things that you wouldn't normally see in an IFAK.
Yep. Yep. So it's small enough that it's compact. You can throw it underneath your seat or whatever, but it's got enough of all this stuff that it really can take care of your whole family. That one that we showed a minute ago, that's more of a minimalist, single person type approach. Trauma, you know, that you're trying to keep somebody alive. You're not treating the little everyday boo-boos and stuff. That's keep someone alive until you can get EMS there, or you can get them to an ER. So.
Right.
CPR, that's another packet that's in here. Ointment, or I mean, we talked about ointments. There's medications, there's wipes and pads, there's your bleeding, there's blister tape. That actually works really well. Say you're out there, you know, doing a handgun, you know, last handgun course I did with you guys, I noticed I started to get a little bit of a rub, you know, wear spot there.
Or maybe on your feet sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. I threw a piece of that blister tape on and boom, like I was good the rest of the day. A couple of emergency blankets, and then you've got like shears and tape, and you know, got a triangular bandage for splinting and all kinds of stuff in there. So that's the VFAK, and then the NEBO. By the way, we named well, this one just the VFAK, but we named this one NEBO just because it's here in Utah. It's one of my favorite mountains. But this is the individual first aid kit, and it's not quite the same as that. This one actually doesn't have a tourniquet or quick clot gauze or a chest seal in it. It's got like, it's basically a mini version of this, all of the general first aid stuff, but there's a little extra space in it to build into a little bit more advanced kit. So say you want to throw in the tourniquet or some quick clot gauze, maybe a chest seal, something like that, and you can turn that a little bit more into a trauma kit. I did the exact same thing with that. I built it up like that. I also put a water filter in it and a knife and a fire starter. And then I turned it into my little survival kit. And I take that one out backpacking and hunting and stuff with me when I'm up in the mountains. So that's it. And that one's organized the same OCD way. It's got all these little tiny packets of stuff in there. And it's really easy to find what it is that you're looking for.
So let's say somebody doesn't know how to use any of this stuff. They don't know how to apply a tourniquet. They don't understand what a chest seal is. How can they get more information? How can they learn? How can they find out what to do with this stuff?
Good question. First aid is like one of those things. It's like firearms. You can have the firearm. You can get a permit to carry it, whatever. But you've got to be trained. You've got to be proficient with that thing. Otherwise, you're a liability. It's just not a good thing. Same thing with first aid. It's great to have it, and honestly, most of the stuff you don't need a lot of training, but we offer, you know, first aid CPR certification classes where we go over, okay, let's apply a tourniquet, and, you know, how do you use it? Go through the different options of, you know, the different types of them out there. We'll talk about what is a chest seal, what is quick clot, what's that? How do we use that? How do we, you know, splint something up? We go over all that along with all the other, you know, heart attack and stroke and, you know, how to treat shock, all that kind of stuff. We do here at Sophos Survival. We've got a training classroom, and we do those things regularly. About, you know, every month or every month and a half, we'll do a CPR first aid class, as well as today we did a concealed carry class. We do other emergency classes like, you know, how to do food storage, water storage, how to build up a 72-hour kit. or a bug out bag, as you might want to call it. But lots of different things to do. A lot of training classes we do here at Sophos.
Cool. Anything else to add?
That's about it. If you have any questions or anything, you can comment in the feed below. And if you want to find all this stuff, we have it, of course, on the website, sophossurvival.com. You can come here. Our store is located at 244 North Main Street in Spanish Fork. And that's about all I got.
Yeah, so if you want to come in, you're an expert, you want to build your own IFAK, you want to build your own kit, they got all the stuff here. You can put it all into your own bag. Or if you're like me and you're like, whatever, Isaiah, give me something, they've got it all put together for you. So we'll also be hosting Isaiah and his first aid classes with BPMF, and we should have his training schedule up on our calendar as well, so you can check that out there. So anyways, thanks everybody. Have a good day.
Thanks.